recognize myself for 5 minutes. My first question goes both to Mr. Jeffries and Mr. Baker. Purpose of safety regulations should be to achieve safety outcome in the most efficient means possible. Most FRA regulations are prescriptive in their approach. How could the industry benefit from a more performance-based approach to establish standards while also allowing operators flexibility on how those standards are achieved? Start with Mr. Jeffries.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Chairman. So we're a 200-plus-year-old industry in the originally federally regulated industry, and we've got the Code of Federal Regulations to support that. We still have regulations on the books from the steam engine era, over 50 years old, and what that does, what that results in when they aren't updated, when they don't evolve with the railroad, with the evolution of technology and innovation, is lock you into perhaps a backwards-looking operating practice that may or may not result in the highest level of safety. And when you think about regulations, I think we would all agree you should be thinking about the outcome you're seeking, the safety outcome you're seeking versus the input you're providing. And so when you have a performance-based regulation, when you have an outcomes-based regulation, you set a standard and you allow for multiple ways to achieve that standard, also allowing for new developments in technology, new developments in innovation, new operating practices that can achieve, if not exceed, that standard. So not locking in current technology or current operating practice is key, in our opinion, in order to advance safety down the road into the future.
Baker.
I'd add, Mr. Chairman, that the difference between short lines and class ones, I think, illustrates your point. A regulation that would work for a 20,000 person Fortune 500 company with 13 different unions probably makes no sense for a 5-person company with 1 locomotive and maybe 1 union. And so I think common sense would tell you in that scenario, a performance-based, outcome-based regulation would make more sense than a prescriptive government telling you exactly how to do it.
Anyone else with a comment on that? Yes, Mr. Cassidy.
Yeah, Mr. Webster, thank you for the, or excuse me, Chairman Webster, thank you for the question. What I will add is labor supports the idea of performance-based regulations in as much as that what we're doing or trying to achieve is done safely. We do have a lot of regulations that look backward, but that speaks to the fact that how we achieve the level of safety we have today is that regulations made sure we had the guidelines and protocols to get us there. And so when we consider innovation, please rest assured that labor supports new technology and innovation to help us work safer. But we need to make sure that the umbrella is not too big so that when the new technologies are being developed, that there's not too much freedom, because the impact could be great on the American public. These are new ideas and new things, so we need to make sure that we have the right processes in place. And when I said in my testimony that labor stands ready to work, it's vitally important that we play a role in these technologies and innovations, because we are the ones that are most impacted by it. And we're also the ones best suited to protect the public and how it can impact them. So, when we look forward to a new process for regulations, safety has got to lead the way in these. We cannot accept technology as safer simply because it's technological. We have to make sure we're doing what's right.
Can each of you, or one or all of you, describe the importance of permitting reform for building and maintaining a robust and safe rail network and infrastructure networks? Anyone want to take that one?
I'd be happy to. It's a cliche, but it's very true in this case. Time is money. Permitting reform, when projects are delayed, and Christie projects are a great example, when they're delayed, costs go up and scope gets reduced. So getting it done faster just means more gets done, and the communities and shippers feel the benefits sooner. So for most short line projects, Christie projects, they're really quite simple. They typically involve track rehab in an existing right-of-way. It is obvious from day one that a project like that is going to have no significant environmental impact, and yet still we somehow frequently spend a year or more in sort of an elaborate box-checking exercise when everyone knows the outcome. And I would say, let's just get to it.
That's the end of my time, so I recognize, Ms. Titus, you recognize for question.